Hello and welcome to Zeta's Chivalry 2 survival run. Today I'm playing as a defender of Coxwell as a peasant. This feat is actually pretty hard. Not only you have to deal with reduced stamina and reduced health pool, but also the map itself is not very well suited to survive as a peasant until the very last stage, because the penultimate stage involves getting back via forward spawn if you want to survive. So for this reason, up until the penultimate stage, as long as I'm the peasant, I'll count it as a full survival run. So the first challenge in our hand is actually to get rid of this enemy, because he spotted us even though our camouflage blends in pretty nicely with the wheat field. So after that I have to wait until the enemy breaks down one of the gates, and only then I can proceed to the next stage. There's no way around it. So I have to wait until the enemy breaks the gate, usually the furthest from here, and then go back through that broken gate to the village inside the walls. By sheer luck, the gate that was open was the middle one, so I quickly go back behind the walls of the village and score a few kills on the way. So I pick up the better weapon because peasant's loadout is really terrible. So instead of pickaxe, now I have a war axe, which actually is much better. There is no any reduction in damage for this weapon, even if the peasant is wielding it. However, I should be mindful that blocking will still remove more stamina than it usually do for other melee classes. And now you can see that I am almost out of health, and this was not caused by the enemy, it was caused by friendlies. Because my health pool is so low, any team damage removes quite a bit from your health pool. So these are the things I need to be mindful of. My teammates, anything that's flying, I mean I can be one-shotted by anything that's being thrown at me. And then I have to think about archers. They can shoot me too in one hit. Not with crossbow, but with arrow to yes. Especially if I'm not full health, then even crossbow would kill me. That's why it's difficult to survive as a peasant. Easy solution would be to have a shield, so that negates some of the range disadvantage and also negates some of the stamina disadvantage. But for some reason that I want to make also some kills, I'm not using that. I'm using a two-handed weapon to also deliver damage. So far it's going well. I'm not trying to be a hero and go in front, and then I'm just trying to circle around and find a good opening to engage. Again, I have to be very cautious, and I see that our village is almost burnt, so I need to think about my strategy, how I will retreat back. There is a trick. If I don't want to do forward spawn, again, I have to... the trick is to be in the bush, where you will basically be waiting, like this bush. You have to wait until enemy puts up the bridges towards the wall. So again, second stage is exactly the same as the first one. I have to wait for enemy to do some action, and then somehow go to the next stage behind the wall. So yeah, I'm hiding here so far successfully, but enemy is not putting up yet the bridges, so I'm still waiting. This one is pretty far away, but let's see. Maybe I'll be lucky with another one. So one is up. I'm waiting for more to be put. I'm waiting. I see that one enemy is putting up the second one. Okay, so that's two up. And I also hear that enemy might be spawning from the right side, because it's quite close to the spawn. So I decide to go for it, because there's no time to waste, because much more enemies will accumulate on the bottom. And I was lucky to get here, and I'm now in the good hands. Also hit by friendlies for some reason. That does not help if you're low, but I can always circle behind the enemies and kill them. That way I can increase my kill count. Although be mindful that peasant, due to it being so squishy, it's impossible to do, to go 30 or 40 kills. That's just not feasible, unless you don't have objective of survival, but I do. So now this stage is gone. In order to get to safety here, there is some trick. I don't need to wait for enemy to break any of the barricades. I can go on the right side here. I can go on the left, in the middle here, on the left side. So basically, only the right and the middle is you can go to. Otherwise, you have to wait for enemy to break the barricades. So yeah, I don't have bandages also. Did I mention that? The peasant does not have bandages. But the good thing is that food replenishes much more health. But that's not because it's more nutritious for peasant. It's just because the health pool is so low that even two vegetables or fishes can actually fill full your health bar. So yeah, I'm waiting for openings now. See one enemy, and he shows me his back. So by using alternative swing, I was able to put my axe just behind the enemy and not hit the friendlies. But if I would use only normal swing, it would have hit the friendly, not the enemy. So I'm still looking at the enemies and deciding whether I want to go. Also, there are some traps on top that can insta-kill me too. I see enemy going to my place. I decide to jump over the wall and then observe what's happening. I see enemy showing back, so why not go for it? And he's going for peasant, and now peasant gets him. Yeah, that's the revenge of the peasant. And so I also cannot contest too much objective because the class is just too squishy. I mean, any throwing weapon, like Danax, would insta-kill me. So it's really risky and not worth it. I can mingle around the objective, but if there's just too many people, I just retreat. And I can't stop moving because there are archers and they can definitely kill me. And that's a nice throw on my behalf. And for some reason I cannot find my axe. Maybe a friendly took it, not sure. But that's a shame because now I have to remind myself, I get accustomed to a new weapon with different reach and different speed. So yeah, don't swap your weapons if you're not confident you can play at the same level with any of them. I mean, with this one it's okay, it's not the worst. But again, I see the progress bar is quite bad for us. So if the enemy continues this way, I have to go back to the next stage. To go back to the next stage also does not require any input from the enemy, but only if you go through the middle. If you go to any sides, then you have to wait for enemy to break down the barricade. So it's just the theme of this game. If you want to play as defender, you have basically to wait for enemy to make a move, and only then you can proceed. So this actually is pretty tough, but for defenders this map, but it's okay, it's possible. Not the toughest one, but definitely not the easiest one. Regarding peasant gameplay, there is another map where you can try peasant survival, and that's I think that's Nausea assaulting Bridgetown. But there too you cannot escape to the Bridgetown itself if you are in the fields around it, because once the enemy breaks the gates, so that basically means that there's a lot of enemies on that gate, and that means you won't be able to go through there alive. I mean, it's impossible. Trust me, I tried. It's not possible. Unless enemy lets you through, which also does not happen. Easy kill is an easy kill. And now I can go back through the middle. Only the middle gate is open. All the rest have barricades and I cannot go back. Again, friendly is trying to swing into me. But from this stage, it's impossible to escape. I mean, again, there are gates, and usually if gates are being broken, so that means there's enemy there, and there is any bridge or any way for me to get over the wall back to my original, the last stage, because the wall is too high. Unless some footman puts up some spike trap, then it is theoretically possible, but I'm not doing this run with teammates, so I'm just doing it myself, not in a group, so that won't happen. And I see one archer going behind the objective. I'll try to get him. Now, even though I'm low on stamina, you can see that my stamina is not diminishing quickly, and that's because I'm using the counters. The blue shield on in the middle of the screen indicates that it's a counter, and I receive stamina back. So yeah, this helps. Again, I'm going from behind and checking the sturdiness of enemy's head. It wasn't sturdy enough. I can't be in the front again due to squishiness, but I can play in the line with friendlies a bit until they, with their team hits, remove a big chunk of my health. And now let's see. This objective is pretty hard to defend since it was updated that you don't need to actually gather all the piles of gold, just a sufficient amount, and that's it. So after this change was done, it's much harder now to do that as a defender this stage. Also saw a friendly going with a really red head. Not sure what happened there. That was a bit funny. Barrel toss. Yeah, and now that's a barrel kill. Yeah, works good. I retreated a bit from the enemy, and I see there's more enemies here. See, they just keep appearing from nowhere, and for this reason I have to always check my surroundings for this extremely squishy class especially. Yeah, it's a bit still pretty tough. Friendly's hitting me and removes maybe 15% of my health. Not cool. I was able to get enemy footman who was going for an archer. Again, this pole hammer is not a bad weapon. It's not the greatest lesson, like in the middle of the road. I mean, it's better than the 200 spear, but not by much. But definitely worse than a pole axe or halberd or 100 spear. So yeah, it's okay, not a bad weapon. So now we have 2 minutes left, and I see this, the progress of enemies taking the gold has progressed a lot. So it seems like we're done for here. Just getting for some reason enemy knight with a bow. Not sure he could strung the bow, use the bow, draw the bow with this amount of armor. Not sure if that's possible. And now I'm in the stage where I cannot go back because the enemy has to break a gate, and for this reason I won't be able to go through that gate because there will be 10 to 20 enemies on that gate. So it is impossible to go. For this reason I use the forward spawn, and I have shuffled on, so I am not sure what class I'll be playing next. So the class is footman, and I have a pickaxe. It's alright. It's middle of the road footman weapon. I mean, it's better than the shovel, but it's not. But it's worse than the maul. Not the maul, but that hammer the engineer class is using. So this is engineer class, a subclass of footman. So whenever I throw a healing item to the friendly and it actually heals the friendly, I'm also receiving back a bit of health, which is helpful. A lot of kills with my pickaxe. Yeah, pickaxe works, it's similar to historical warhammer, which always had a hammer on one side and a spike on the other. That spike works as a pickaxe. So yeah, but I still changed to a more reliable weapon. At the moment it's a longsword. That's a much better weapon than the pickaxe. And I'm just running around, just looking for openings. I mean, I already did the hardest part of this map, surviving as a peasant. So now I just want to get more kills, because it seems like I missed out on the kills because of my carefulness while playing the peasant class. But still, I think I did quite well. I received some kills. I wasn't hiding from everyone. I was just getting kills which I was comfortable with whilst I was a peasant. But now I can do more risky approach, get into more hairy situations, and get more kills in that way. So still don't want to go there because I saw enemy waves coming in. So you need to pick your fights correctly. Now this enemy escaped. Good play on his behalf. He knew how to escape. He just jumped down, and he was in vicinity of a lot of friendlies. So well done. That Vanguard does not want to play. Now this is funny. The engineer or footman charging attack basically means even though it's a blunt weapon or a longsword, it uses it as a spear and tries to stab with it. That's a bit funny, but it's okay. Doesn't do much damage either. And usually halberds or spears do a lot of damage with charging attack, but definitely not the longsword. And now I change also the longsword to I think a war axe or battle axe. Not sure what the skin for, but it looks like a battle axe. So now I'm healing behind the pole, and I'm there just to ensure I'm not being hit by projectiles. Yeah, by the sound I can tell it's a battle axe. It has a very neat sound, really nice when it connects with the enemy. So it's a battle axe. Even though, I mean, there's not much difference between those axes, the sound effects do differ. Now this is what happens when enemies in active parry and your friendlies are attacking with simple attacks, no special attacks. And so enemy is using the active parry and very quick weapon to deliver a lot of damage to bystanders. So yeah, don't keep on swinging. I mean, guys use stabs and overheads and also special attacks and kicks and jabs. So the repertoire is much bigger than just left mouse button. Unless you're a beginner, so it's okay. But anyone, as I said, over 50 level, 50 should do overheads. And over 100 should do also stabs. Including drag stabs and drag overheads. See, only swinging. I mean, doing same thing and expecting different results actually is called madness. So, I mean, try to think if enemy is using left mouse button to counter your left mouse button. So one of you will have to eventually come out of it and start using another type of attack. So now there's 2 seconds, we won this, so it's a good challenge. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Thank you for watching and see you next time.